up, say. One time for the hometown, I got love for it, that's real. Yeah. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family, dog, cause this shit done paid our bills. And I get 4 times my name.
Alright, welcome back, guys. It's Matt with the Matt Cutrer Report. We're back for another episode, and today we have another very special guest in studio. Today is Mr. Yuki Kuniyuki. Is that right?
You got it right.
Nice. He is the executive director of SAPAC, the San Angelo Performing Arts Center. So we're going to have a really cool discussion today about some things that we both think are very important. Before we do that, we're going to do a real quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. So we'll see you in a second. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Holscher Ranch Group has you covered. With a dedicated team and a passion for Texas land, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Visit HolscherRanchGroup.com or call 325-899-1403 to get started. Holscher Ranch Group, making land ownership dreams come true 1 acre at a time. All right, guys, welcome back. All right, so thank you, first of all, for coming in. It's really great to have you on the show.
Oh, it's great to be here. I've been following your shows on YouTube and social media, so I'm glad to be here.
Nice. Well, thank you. That's great. So before we get diving into it, I like to do what I call the elevator pitch.
Okay.
Are you familiar with an elevator pitch?
Yes, I am.
Nice. Okay. So you got 30 seconds. I won't hold you to it, though, but give us your name, what you do, what you're all about, that kind of deal.
Well, I'd like to talk about San Angelo PAC instead.
Yeah.
So SAPAC, if no one knows, is really one of the few nonprofit performing arts venues in West Texas. And we've been around since 2016. We're going into our 9th season. And our mission is to provide state-of-the-art facilities to local and national companies, organizations to put on the best in live entertainment in the Contra Valley.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So SAPAC was created in 2016?
So the organization came together early on in 2009 as the Envision Coalition. That's when a group of community members got together with a vision for creating a performing arts center in San Angelo. In 2012, they formed the San Angelo Performing Arts Coalition, which had 4 key members: the ballet, the symphony, Angelo Civic Theater, and the Culture Affairs Council.
Oh, nice.
And then in 2016, that's when they completed renovations on the old Coca-Cola factory.
That's right. You told me that.
Into the Stevens Performing Arts Center. And then they renovated City Auditorium into the Murphy Performance Hall. Okay,
nice. Yeah. So tell me how I think it's interesting for people to know how you in particular got into this, because you, like you said, you don't have an entertainment background and performance background. You have a military background.
I do.
Yeah.
So I retired in 2020, and I was all set to become a teacher. I wanted to go into teaching because I felt like I had more to give to young people.
Yeah.
But right around the same time, SAPAC was trying to figure out its path out of the pandemic.
Okay.
And I was already involved in theater at the time in the community, and I figured Army management skills would translate into venue management skills.
Yeah.
And what I found over the last 3 years is that there are a lot of similarities. You do, near-term planning, long-term planning.
Mm-hmm.
You execute missions on a day-to-day basis, and it's all about logistics, resource management, and collaboration with other people. Those are all like skills you learn in the military.
Right.
And the only gap, right, is fundraising.
That's right. Yeah.
Because military is well funded.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's the biggest difference right there.
It is.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It's long pole in the tent too.
Right. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about just the brief history of SAPAC and how you feel it's done, how it's evolving, and where you see it going or would like to see it going. And then we'll get into a little more specifics.
Okay. So since we're in our 9th season, I'm actually the longest serving executive director at this time.
Nice.
Going on 4 years with SAPAC, and we've evolved a lot in that time frame. We've, on one hand, we went from presenting about 20 shows a year to now just presenting a small handful of shows because just the cost of doing business and presenting shows, we've seen an astronomical increase over time.
Wow.
And right now, we haven't seen the same ticket sales as before the pandemic. So, we're trying to adjust to the changing habits
Mm-hmm.
of our guests, changing habits of just the local consumer, because a lot more entertainment is now available online.
Right.
So we're trying to navigate that and figure out
Yeah.
what's best for this community. We continue to focus a lot right now on collaborating with local arts organizations and really create that foundation I think that's necessary to be integrated with the community before we go back to bigger Broadway productions. And we
Yeah.
also need to, we're working on an endowment right now to help cover operating costs on an annual basis.
Nice. Okay.
Because when you look at every successful nonprofit performing arts venue, Bass Concert Hall, Tobin Center, the Miller Outdoor Auditorium in Houston,
Uh-huh.
they all have substantial endowments that help them cover operating costs.
Right.
Because really that's what you have to do, because ticket sales help cover the show,
Mm-hmm.
and grants help cover programming, equipment, but you don't really have other revenue sources that cover insurance or salaries and wages,
Yeah.
and those other things that are necessary to have a successful venue.
That's right. Yeah. So this is a big question here. And before we started rolling, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I want to tie this into kind of what we were talking about. So why do you feel it's necessary and really vital for the San Angelo Performing Arts Center to start thriving again for this community and for what San Angelo is all about and what we offer? Why is it important that we get it
Because
flourishing?
I always tell people that San Angelo is the gem of West Texas.
Cool. I like that. Yeah.
I would say that there's more visual and performing arts here per capita than anywhere else in Texas. You can go 3 hours east to Killeen and the
Mhm.
Fort Cavazos / Hood area, and you won't find the same amount of arts that we have, which makes us really special.
Yeah.
In 2021, we attained the Visual Arts Capital designation by the state of Texas. We have a film-friendly designation.
Mhm.
We're also a film-friendly, what's the other one? Music-friendly destination
Oh, yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
And then we have a lot of arts organizations, San Angelo Broadway Academy,
Mhm.
a ballet, a symphony,
Yep.
which is, I think really unique to a
Yeah.
city our size. And I think it's really important as we look ahead to the future of San Angelo as a destination
Yeah.
to have a vibrant cultural and performing arts community, because
Yes.
that's what's going to draw people in.
Yes.
And I've heard different things from different musicians when I talk to them. Some of them have told me that right now the music scene isn't the same as it was a decade ago.
Mhm. Yeah.
It was much bigger
Yeah.
then than it is now. But I think it's just changing habits
Mhm.
of attendance at events. I think coming out of the pandemic, there was really a slowdown of ticket sales, and we've seen, a number of annual events, not get rescheduled
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. So I liked how you were talking about how San Angelo is at we're in a unique place right now, to where San Angelo kind of needs to find its identity, or what are we going to be about? And you said that back in the 2009-ish, I think you said that they came up with Cowboys and Creators.
Oh, no. So when you look at the San Angelo City documents and the
Right.
strategic plan, 2009 is when they started writing about the strategy for San Angelo going into the future.
Yes.
And it was really focused on different components: infrastructure,
Okay.
water resources.
Okay.
Arts and culture was a component of it.
Oh, okay.
But when I look in the on the website, I don't really see any update to that plan. And we've evolved a lot as a community since 2009.
Yeah.
Most recently, the Destination Marketing Organization developed a identity called Cowboys and Creators.
Okay. Yeah.
Try to tie into the rich Western heritage of San Angelo, as well as the creative community that we have.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of great spaces. We
We
have
do.
the Chicken Farm
Mm-hmm.
Art Center. We have Art in Uncommon Places,
Yep.
and all their outdoor art galleries. We have
Yep. Raw
SAPAC.
1899, SAPAC. Yeah.
We have Angelo Civic Theater,
Museum. Mhm.
which is the oldest continually running community theater in Texas.
Yeah.
They were
Heard
formed
that.
as legend has it, with the Unfort Concho with the Spouses Club.
Is that right? Wow, that's cool.
So,
Yeah.
we have a lot of things here that are really important. A symphony that's celebrating its 75th anniversary this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think going forward, we really have to be forward-thinking and intentional on how we want to evolve San Angelo to be prepared for the interstate
Yes.
when it comes through.
That's right. Do you think, before we get back onto SAPAC, do you think first of all, do you have any idea when that's going to happen? And secondly, when that does happen, do you think that San Angelo will start growing in that direction more rapidly?
I don't know when it's going to happen because I'm not.
Yeah,
it's not
you're
my
not tied into
wheelhouse right now.
Yeah.
I'm really tied into the performing
Yeah.
arts. But I think what we need is, whenever that happens, we need really mature festivals, events
Ooh, yes, good
that
point.
happen on an annual basis.
Okay.
So that way, when people do attend, they see how vibrant our community is.
Yeah, that's good.
I was talking to a musician once, and we were talking about how important it is for locals to attend concerts, because when we have tourists attending, if the tourists are the only ones there, then it's going to seem empty.
Yeah.
Right? We need the locals to come out and support these events, whether it's at a venue downtown or around the loop. People need to get out and see those events.
Even
as well
Coopers and Cristobal.
Coopers and Cristobal. They need to come out to the events like Brews, Use, and Barbecues by downtown San Angelo.
Yep, that's a good one.
Because that's what's going to generate excitement and interest for the city.
That's right. You know what they need to do is bring back Blaine's Picnic. Did you ever hear about Blaine's Picnic?
No. That's before my time.
Epic. It was epic. It was cool. It brought a lot of great Texas country musicians, and it was one of those concerts or festivals. It was all day long, and everybody looked forward to it every year. But it caused a lot of issues, and so they did away with it. But to jump back on SAPAC, let's talk just a little bit about some of the upcoming things that are going to be happening, because one of the biggest things that got me curious was, you said, hypnotism.
Yes. So we're trying to diversify the season this year.
Okay.
So this year is going to be a magical experience.
Nice.
We've got internationally renowned hypnotist coming in.
Cool.
Boris Cherniak. He'll be here on the 14th of September.
Okay.
He's been on talk shows. He's done TED Talks. He's gone around the world, even deployed to Afghanistan with USO to reach the troops. And he's going to show how hypnotism can help elevate your game.
Cool.
Because while he's a comedy hypnotist, his main focus is helping people overcome mental obstacles.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And hypnotism is a great way to do that because it helps unlock your full potential. And then we have
Magic.
We have two magic shows this year. We've got a smaller one on the 2nd of November with Zach Mears. He won the Foulis Trophy on Penn and Teller.
Wow.
So he's going to be quite amazing.
Yeah.
And then in December, we'll have the Illusionists. And this will be their second time in San Angelo.
Oh, nice.
And the first time was a sold-out performance.
Oh, it was? I was going to ask you. Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, and that's going to be 5 illusionists bringing some of the best stage magic you'll see.
Whoa, I'm going to be there.
Yeah. And then we've got
ballet.
2 Ukrainian ballet companies coming through, which is kind of cool because it was really last year that we saw more touring ballet companies coming to San Angelo.
Okay.
So they'll have the Snow Queen in October 24th, and in April 10th we'll have Swan Lake.
Nice.
And then in the middle, right between, we have Ballet San Angelo's Nutcracker, which is going to be another spectacular event. So there's a lot of ballet. So if you love dance, we've got that. We also have a mariachi Christmas show with Mariachi Garibaldi de Jaime Cuellar coming out of California.
Ooh.
With Ballet Folklorico of the Rio Grande Valley, which is an amazing company.
Wow.
If you know anything about them, they started as a university ballet troupe, a Ballet Folklorico group.
Yeah.
And then those who graduated formed a professional company that tours around the world.
Yeah. Wow. That's very cool. And then what else besides those 3? There was one more thing you mentioned.
Let's see. We've got Darren Morrison Band. If you love local musicians, come out and support them on the 7th of September. Okay. And we're also hosting the 20th anniversary for the West Texas Jazz Orchestra.
Oh, nice.
They've been playing big band classics in San Angelo for 20 years. They've had annual workshops to help students learn the classics, and they are the best regional musicians that you'll find that play all the American classics that you'll find in big band CDs around the world.
Very nice.
And then we've got other shows coming up in the spring that we'll start announcing the closer we get to that time frame.
All right, Yuri, Yuki, sorry. I got something for you that could be revolutionary for SAPAC. And I've only told a couple people about this, so I'm about to let you in on something. So what if, I know something we could just blow the city and the Concho Valley away with, and it is, you know how we do Dancing with the Stars? What if we did our own Concho Valley The Bachelor, or Bachelorette? So we take somebody local who's, let's say, a 20 under 40 that just got nominated, one of the honorees, or somebody well-known, and they're the Bachelor. And what we do is we set it up to where it's a mini version. So instead of, 20 episodes, we do like 5 or 6. And the first episode is, kind of a mingling gathering somewhere, like SAPAC or the museum or somewhere. And then and the next one is like a date at a different restaurant, so we can showcase San Angelo throughout the little mini series. But sort of along the lines of Dancing with the Stars. What do you think?
I think that would be a great series for
really?
The Matt Cutrer show to host, with your...
Yeah.
Because we're really live entertainment, visual arts.
Okay, yeah.
Or did you know that there's a local movie producer in San Angelo?
Who?
You might know.
Wait, who is it?
It's a Steamhouse Entertainment over on the old Gandhi Inc. building on
Really?
Polium. So they've got actually 2 projects in the works. They have
I need to get their contact from you.
You should.
Yeah.
They have The Last Battleship, which will be about it's a science fiction story. And then they have Revenants, which is a horror film.
Okay.
And they're also working on a web series focused on first responders who've died in action.
Have you heard of this? That's incredible. I did not know that they were here locally. I want to go get an interview and talk with them.
I'll introduce you to them. It's Joe Cahill and his team up there on... I think it'll be a cool thing if you went there to see their facility, because they have a green room that they're setting up where you can do digital filming, and they also plan to do a indoor studio where they can have...
Do people know about this?
I think some people are onto it. There's a Facebook group called Film San Angelo where they're really active. In fact, San Angelo has quite a few different independent filmmakers. You've got Sovereign Media that does a lot of advertising, but they also have experience in the film industry. Right. You also have Steamhouse Entertainment, and then there's one other group. I forget who they are.
I was just in a movie actually recently. It was a lower budget horror film called Bud. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, we were going to have the San Angelo premiere of Bud on the 31st.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's you're still doing it?
Yep.
Oh, I will be there with bells on. Yeah. So I'm in the film, and I'm one of the brothers, and don't have a ton of screen time. But man, that process, what was so cool about that is the directors and the filmmaker, cinematographer, I guess you will, they had it so well laid out, the production process and the shooting schedule and all the different intricacies of different angles and the way it was incredible to be a part of something like that production. It's one of the coolest experiences of my life. And I think that would be really something, is kind of the things you're talking about, that if San Angelo could bring that more into fruition, the filmmaking scene, right? Even for SAPAC,
No, so up until last year, we had the Revolution Film Festival, which was sponsored by the Destination Marketing Office. Okay. Unfortunately, they decided not to continue this year. So I've been talking to some filmmakers about, conceptually, if we had a local film fest in the spring sometime, that would connect the local filmmakers with aspiring actors and
that's good.
Even like advertising agencies, because I know we have a lot of really great advertising groups like Mix It Up Media, Buy the Stream Media, Media Advantage. And,
exactly.
That I think would be huge.
It would. That's good.
Yeah, because, when you think about San Angelo, we do have a lot of history that goes back into film and television. Recently, Fort Concho had the Fess Parker Film Fest. Fess Parker grew up in San Angelo. Nice. And he starred as Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone in the 60s.
Yeah.
So they celebrated his 100th anniversary Mark Menchaca is from San Angelo.
Oh man, I got the greatest interview with him.
Oh, you did?
Oh, it was so great. So I'll just tell you real quick.
Uh,
So I called his dad because we had heard, and it was sort of embarrassing because we had heard, oh yeah, there's a local guy who is going to be starring in a Super Bowl commercial. It was a beer commercial,
uh,
and that's all we knew. And so we contacted his dad, who owns a carpet store in San Angelo, and he was kind enough to give me his number, and I was like, man, great. And so I call him up, call Mark Menchaca up, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? This is Matt with this news outlet, whatever. And man, it's really great to see a local guy get a big shot at a commercial. And he was like, yeah, thank you, but he had done like all these huge things. He's already done like, he did, multiple
Ozarks.
Yeah, exactly.
The creator.
Oh, yeah.
He's married to Lena Headey.
Exactly.
From Game of Thrones.
I mean, he's huge. He's the biggest thing to come out of San Angelo in a long time. And so we just had this fascinating conversation. And he promised that when he comes back that he'll give me an in-studio interview. But yeah, that's cool that you know about Mark Menchaca.
Yeah.
Have you ever met him in person?
I have not met him, no.
Okay, yeah.
But,
Cool,
so,
dude.
and then, when you look on IMDb,
Yeah.
you can find a lot of successful San Angeloans who've made the leap into even like anime voiceovers.
That's right.
And it's really cool to see people who've followed their dreams.
It is. I love to see that. That's right. So yeah, so what can we do? Like, is there, do you guys meet about this? Do you have marketing department? Like, are you guys brainstorming, like, what can we do to help bring SAPAC back up and revitalize it to where it's really flourishing? Is there a plan moving forward right now with that?
There's a plan. Part of that is the endowment process.
Yeah.
Getting people invested into SAPAC for the future.
Okay.
Because if we want to see it flourish and have Broadway in San Angelo, we really need to make that investment now. Because and the goal is, by our 10th season, which will be next year, to start having a substantial endowment in place.
Okay.
We already have a part of what we need, and that's going to help us. But the reality of nonprofit performing arts is you're always at a deficit because you're always counting on ticket sales.
Right.
And the consumer base.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the best thing going forward for the community is supporting shows, because our shows are really affordable when you think about it. The average ticket price is about $30.
Okay.
So it's really accessible, affordable to most people. And a lot of the local shows that we have, they're also much less. San Angelo Broadway Academy typically averages $15 a ticket. And they have some amazing performances.
Yes.
Even the Ballet San Angelo's Nutcracker is... every year it's epic.
Yeah, it is.
They always
It
change
really
it and add new things to it, which keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
The symphony's always doing great things, and it's, the musicians that they bring in and have locally are just amazing.
Yeah.
And we have the San Angelo Chorus, which is going on to its
I didn't know that.
third year now.
Oh, what if I wanted to be in that? I'm a singer. I've been in choir.
They have auditions.
I would love to do that. No kidding. Seriously, that's cool.
I think they're this weekend.
Wow.
So
Nice.
San Angelo Chorus is led by Dr. Eric Posada at Angelo State University.
Okay, yeah.
And he's done an amazing job with that chorus, because they've had university students. It's multi-generational.
Whoa, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Or you can join the Twin Mountain Tonesmen, which is San Angelo's very own a cappella group.
That's right. Yeah, just men, right?
Just men.
Has that been going on for a while?
They have an annual thing, and I think
love
they've
to
been
do
around
that.
since the 80s.
Cool.
If not before the 80s.
Yeah. Do they have shows at SAPAC?
They have an annual show in April at SAPAC.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
is it's really a great production. If you've never seen them, it's always worthwhile to come out and see them.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
So like I said before, there's just tremendous talent in this community.
Yes,
and,
there is.
Every show that we produce just has it creates new memories, I think, for people.
That's right. That's a good point. That's right. So moving forward, the biggest thing then for us to do now, what we can do is get out and see shows, right? Get out and buy tickets. That's what we can do now.
Right. Because it's not just for us, right? It's for everybody.
That's right. Yeah.
Going out to Blaine's or House of Fifi Dubois or Cristobal Vineyards or Cooper's, just getting out and supporting the local arts scene, because it's so important now, because that simple investment, once or twice a month or quarter can do, wonders for that organization.
Yes.
Especially helping them make this decision to have an event the following year.
Right.
Because, and I know it's sometimes hard because you're deciding between a show or food or gas.
That's right. Yeah.
So those decisions are difficult. But, if you come out to one, just share it on Facebook. That's the other big thing is like we want to be able to share what's going on through social media so that way visitors also know what's going on and they can come out to these events as well.
Yes, that's something that I've kind of taken on as well, is covering local events just like you're talking about. And what I try to do when I go out to something like that is I try to give the experience that I'm having. I try to show it in chronological order of how I get there and arrive and what I see, and kind of I want to bring the vibe and the feel. And what I'm finding with those videos is they get the viewership is really high, and I think it's really making a difference. People are more aware, so it's helping to spread awareness, and people get that vibe and they want to experience it for themselves. And so that's something that I'll be doing a lot more of, and anything that I can do to help with SAPAC moving forward. I would love to be of assistance in any way.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to have you on board.
Cool.
Because, I think it's all about collaboration and
that's right.
Building this community where we have a shared passion for the city that we live in.
Yes.
And all the wonderful events that take place here. Because, we have an annual blues festival.
Yep.
Like I said, brews and barbecues. In fact, downtown San Angelo is going to have a Little Miss Wool pageant at SAPAC in November.
That's right. I heard the mayor talk about that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things to celebrate.
What else? Is there anything else you'd like to cover right now with SAPAC?
Well, so unfortunately, we need to talk about the unfortunate things that happened last year.
Okay.
So B Theater had to close.
Dang, I know.
And it's because it's just getting more difficult to do things financially, right? Because when we may not think about the effort it takes to put on a season by a community theater, but you have to pay up front for licensing of shows. There's a lot of advertising that goes into it. So even though the actors don't get paid, there are a lot of upfront costs that have to be covered, right? So it's really difficult for community theaters now to do that, which is why it's so important to support local theaters.
Yes.
Like so Angelo Civic Theater, for example, has a really great season. The first show of the season is Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Oh, nice.
And they'll have a Sherlock's Home Play and some other ones coming up. So
cool.
They've got some things filling the gap.
Yeah.
Right. And they've had a great season every year since 1800s.
God.
longest running community theater in the state of Texas.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But then we also saw the dissolution of the San Angelo Culture Affairs Council.
Yes, talk about that
over the summer. Once again, it was like, funding was the main issue. It's like, how do we continue as an organization supporting the arts? And so it became more difficult.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difficult decision that many arts organizations have to make now, is like, how do we continue if the revenue streams and cash flow aren't there? So, what we're doing at SAPAC right now is trying to figure out how do we fill that gap, right, with the other artists that are local. One of the things that we're thinking about doing is creating a collaborative art space where visual artists or performing artists can come in, use our facilities for workshops, for their own concerts. Because one of my goals is to help artists understand the business end of things.
Ooh,
because
that's good.
What I'd like to see is musicians learning how to read a contract, how to write a technical writer, and how to then go on their own little regional tours. Because we have a lot of independent musicians here.
For sure.
Like Feeder, Amma, Moan Cherry. There's a lot of bands.
Yes.
But we don't know much about them. So as I look to the future, near futures, how do we give them more exposure?
Yes.
And have them, continue their performances at bars, restaurants, and other smaller venues, and then transition maybe to a ticketed event in a theater, because it is a major step in a different direction.
Right.
So that's one of my goals.
I like that. That's good.
Also working with visual artists to see how we can give them access to space to pursue live portrait paintings or workshops. Because the way I see SAPAC evolving, especially at the Stevens Performing Arts Center on 82 Gillis Street, is us becoming a community resource that's connected to other nonprofits, local artists, and we have that base.
Yes, I think that's the key right there.
I think
that's
so.
Good. Yeah.
Right. And for example, like on the 26th of October, we're working with Blackshear Heights to have a haunted house and a fall festival.
Oh, are you serious?
So,
that's exciting.
Our first haunted house was last year.
Yeah, how'd it go?
It's really well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, those are big.
It's a lot different than the ones at the YMCA, Fort Concho, and everything else.
In what way? Is it scarier?
I want to say it's scarier, but it's technologically enabled. It's got a different production value.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's exciting. Yeah.
Very nice. We're looking at that. I'm also looking at maybe even creating a youth poet laureate program where we can celebrate the creative writing that our young people do. Because we have an award-winning speech and debate team at Central High School.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
National champions.
That's right.
I'm
trying to get the debate coach in here.
Oh, Kobe Evers?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard because he's always busy.
Yeah, I know.
But, we had a poetry workshop last year. We brought in the poet laureate from Houston, Outspoken Bean, and he went to Lakeview and Central. And then we had a spoken word night.
Wow. How did that go?
It went really well.
Good attendance?
No, so it was mainly families and kids.
Okay, yeah.
But it was giving them an outlet for their original works. So I thought that was really good. And I think it's important to elevate and provide opportunities for young people.
Yes. Man, you're doing some good work. I mean, I really feel like you got a good handle on this. You've got a good vision for the future of SAPAC and of what San Angelo can become with the arts,
That's Army training.
I was going to ask you, so since you're not an entertainer or you didn't, necessarily pursue the performing arts, if there was something you did pursue, what would it be? Would it be music or would it be painting or ballet? What would be your thing, do you think?
By nature, I'm a visual artist. Okay. So I paint.
Yeah.
And I draw.
You do?
Yeah, I
nice.
do those things.
Yeah.
I'm not a singer.
No. Yeah.
In fact, I have a voice for print and a face for radio.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. All right. So, is there anything else you'd like to touch on right now? It's totally up to you. It's open for you to.
I think we covered a lot of things.
We did.
I think one of the key things going forward is community involvement.
Okay.
The arts thrive and survive based on
that's right
active participation. We have a great community. When you look into schools, there's great programs. Even Water Valley has an artist collective of kids that are doing amazing things. We have great after school programs. So be involved, see what's out there. And I like to say that there's always something to do in San Angelo every weekend.
That's right.
Every weekend during the week, there's always something to do. It may not be something that you would see in a big city.
Right.
But it's live, local, and in person here.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And you only have to drive 10 to 15 minutes to get it.
Yep. That is the truth. I've seen that really in the last 10 to 12 years. Like, before then, it was few and far between. It'd be like the jazz festival and a few things. But now it's like there's something all the time.
There is.
And it's great because I cover these things and I'm like, man, I got to pick and choose here.
So
cool.
The best way to stay informed is on Discover San Angelo website.
Okay.
There's a lot of events that get posted there. That's hosted by the Chamber of Commerce.
Good. Okay. Yes.
Liking your favorite organizations on Facebook. So like SAPAC has Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn,
nice,
Alignable, TikTok.
Yep.
So we've got it all. We've got it all.
Cool.
And we try to get the word out as much as possible, and we'll share everything else that's going on in San Angelo because one of the cool things that the Chambers started recently with Asher Rogers is he'll publish a weekend.
Yeah, we were doing that too. Yeah.
Because it's important. I love it. It's important to get the word out.
Yes, it is.
Whatever the resource is, because people need to know how to plan the weekend.
That's right. Yeah. Very cool. Well, so lastly, I do this with every guest, but so tell me, what are 3 things that you're genuinely grateful for right now in your life?
What am I grateful for in my life? I think the opportunity to have a positive impact on San Angelo through the performing arts. I think that's huge.
Nice.
Because working through SAPAC, we touch so many lives.
Yeah.
Whether they're performers or guests in attendance, I think it's truly a magical experience when we can help transform the arts.
Absolutely.
I'm thankful and grateful for my family. I've got one kid who graduated, 2 in high school right now, and
Nice.
a lovely wife who's a director at the Emmanuel School of Fine Arts.
Cool.
And then last thing, I guess I'm grateful for the fact that winter is coming because it's really hot right now in San Angelo.
Yeah. Well, those are good. Those are all good. And then last question for you. What makes you genuinely happy? Where do you get joy from?
What do I get joy from?
Yeah. What brings you happiness, fulfillment?
That's a great question. It's
hard sometimes, right?
I think the thing that gives me the most fulfillment is helping young people thrive. Because
That's why you were going to teach.
I was going to teach,
Yeah.
right? We talked about this before the show, but I was going to be I was a substitute teacher for a while. And it was really cool to see the young people in the community. My favorite grades were 4th through 10th grade.
Yeah.
Juniors, maybe juniors too, but seeing their potential, helping them reach their full potential, and helping them expand their knowledge was always great.
That's one of the best answers I've heard. I like that. That's cool. All right, guys, you heard it. This has been Yuki Kuniyuki, the executive director of SAPAC. You saw it here, guys. This has been the Matt Cutrer Report. Thank you for watching. As always, remember, if you'd like to sponsor the podcast or the San Angelo Soup, we are taking sponsors, so we'd love to have you. We'll see you next time, guys. Take care. Cool. Thank you so much.